Live from the Pepper J Production Studios in Hollywood, California, it's time for ActorsE Chat Show. Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Now, with nearly 1,400 entertainment celebrity guests and over 6 million viewers worldwide, every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. A co-production of Pepper J Productions and Live Video Inc., a Kurt Kelly company. It's the ActorsE Chat Show.
Live from the Pepper J Studios in Hollywood, California, we have an exciting guest who began his career very young in broadcasting, doing commercials, PSAs, news, then became a well-known air talent, and decided at some point to become a writer and an editor and a publisher, and worked with everybody in entertainment, in the music and entertainment industry. Joel Denver.
Thank you, sir. How are you today?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
So I was digging around on the internet and found that PSAs were kind of your first way in news into
I empty
music?
trash. I did anything I could do to get into radio. And I got into radio when I was like 15 years old. I
Right.
banged on a lot of doors. I became friends with a jock at a radio station, and I would put his albums away at night at a good music radio station so that he could get home to his girlfriend at midnight on Saturday night, and he trained me how to use the production room, which I could make my own first tape, and
Right.
that's kind of how it happened.
Did he maybe have you spin a few records near the end of the show so he could duck out early?
No, he didn't do that because it was
Okay.
like the owner was kind of weird about that. But filing albums away back then was a big deal. It's
Absolutely.
like, especially at a good music radio station because everything was on an album. So
Right.
you had to, it's time consuming, and he wanted to get out. So
Now, what format was the good music station?
it was like
Easy listening,
very
easy-
easy listening.
okay.
But I mean, he was at a top 40 radio station, and I just became friends with him. And what happened was, when I first met him, I was in the hospital. I had a leg operation, and I got really, really bored. So I used to call up him at the top 40 station, and this thing called Request-O-Matic. So so I had nothing to do all day. I got so bored with the television, so I just kept calling up and going like, hey, can you play this? Can you play that? He says, you got a nice voice. I said, how old are you? I said, I'm 14. He says, you're kidding me. So
Wow.
anyway,
So you haven't gone through puberty yet?
I think I had, but it was like a sort of early developer.
Okay.
But anyway, so so my mom took me up to the radio station. By that point, he'd moved over to the good music station, and I was still on crutches, and I had a leg brace on. And he went like, "Oh man," he says, and he says, "Well, let me see what I can do to help you here." And that's kind of how. I'm still friends with him today. His name is Bob Fish.
Oh, how very nice.
Yeah, he and I are still buddies to this day.
So he opened that door for you, but where did you get the bug? Was it laying in the hospital?
Yeah,
or
I mean,
had
just
you
listen.
thought about it before?
I had a radio since I was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. I had transistors, so it's like I always listened to the radio and loved the music, and it was just fun, So
Family members in entertainment? So you were the cutting
That
edge.
was it. That's and I have no kids, so the gene pool dies here. So
Well, there's still time yet. So we hear. So as you were getting into broadcasting, what made you decide I want to get into being on-air talent and playing the music versus maybe doing entertainment news or things like that?
Well, it was like, at that time, it was like, people were DJs, and that was fun. I got to, what could be more exciting for a teenager in college, or rather in high school, than to get on the air, play your favorite music, have fun, be a little bit of a celebrity.
Yes.
And it was a lot of fun to do. So it was like, that was the easiest way in, and I did that, and I became, I got into music programming, and then I got into, various stops along the way in a 13-year radio career, and I got into being a program director. And then after I got fired a couple of times because me and you all got steady a lot.
Reality check. That's why you got fired? You were sleeping on the
No.
job?
That's very early on. It was a little publicity stunt when I was at WPGC in Washington, and that was my second radio station.
Which
I
was a top 40 radio
exactly,
station.
and I was a part-timer there. And
What is this shot here?
That's just me on the sidewalk with some wrapping paper.
Okay,
I mean, it's
you
stupid
weren't
stunt
homeless,
stuff.
you were still
No,
working
it was
that week.
just the
Okay.
stupid stunty stuff. That's when I was in Philadelphia at WFIL. That's where I kind of really got an extremely big break. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'd
Was
only
that
been
a
in
Drake
radio.
Chenault station?
No,
It wasn't
no,
a Drake
no,
station, but it was a top 40.
Very big top 40
Right.
station. It's famous 56 on AM, and it was a kick-ass radio station. It had this big monster signal. So
Where is this one at?
that's at FIL too, and that's when early on when I also had had different hairstyles through there too.
I'm noticing this
Yeah,
here
so,
when you went a little frizzy for a while.
Yeah, had the
kinda
fro,
longer.
and there, it was really funny because the radio station, while it was at this kick-ass top 40 radio station, when I first went to the job interview there, and I got the job, my first day on the job, Jay Cook, who was my program director, God rest his soul, was a terrific human being.
From Gannett.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Jay said to me, he says, hey, he says, let's go to lunch. But he says, I'm going to get a haircut. Want to get one too? Because I had hair like down my back. I mean, I was like,
wink, wink.
Yeah. So I mean, I had the full beard and all that stuff, but I really had long hair. So as you can see in that picture, that promotional picture,
You
I had it
looked
bobbed,
like you had a ponytail on one.
I did.
Okay.
I did it one time. So
Okay.
I went through all that stuff. So
Nice phases to go through. You won Program Director of the Year at the Poe Convention.
I did,
also.
yes, I did. It was myself and Bill Tanner who we programmed against in Miami.
Right.
We both won that year, and Bill didn't show up, so I accepted his award for him.
Now accepting it for my competitor.
Exactly what I did. And then, so I had his award, and I took the 96X van and a photographer and some of the staff, and we went over to Y100.
Oh, nice.
And he wasn't not going to see me, and so took pictures and presented it to him. And Bill was,
nice.
and I'm very good friends with Bill to this day, but at that particular time, because he was our competitor.
Absolutely.
He was one of those guys that, if you were in the same room as him, he didn't want to talk to you.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, there's some people get like that in, the competition thing.
You didn't exist.
Exactly. But I would take advantage of that. I would go like, Bill, how are you, buddy? What's happening? Yeah, what's going on, man? What'd you have for lunch yesterday? What'd you have for lunch today? I mean, I would just try and engage him in the conversation, and it would make him uber uncomfortable. So I had more fun like doing that.
You're still trying to get out of your shell here, I see.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm having trouble with that.
So you were in the era when radio, some would say, was fun, that legendary thing where there were big personalities on the radio.
It's funny. I got on radio in 1968, and I went through a number of markets and stuff. And when I get to WFIL, they had just gone through a sale, and I was 20 or 21 years old at the time. And what was interesting was that some of the older guys, they were like 30s.
Which is a young age for a major market.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But some of the older staffers, they were in their 30s already. And so there was a large psychographic difference between them and me and how I was thinking and all that stuff. And I was on the progressive edge of a lot of stuff. And they were sitting there going like, man, the old days here, man, they were just so much better. Well,
in 68.
To me, it was the most amazing thing to be at this radio station. And what was so fun was they were talking about, they've cut back on spending and this and that and the other. And I remember one of the first staff meetings that we'd had as we were going into the spring book. And Jay Cook said, what would you all like to think about doing for our promotion, for the big spring promotion? I said, well, how about the 56 days of summer, because we're at 56 on the dial, and let's give away a Mustang convertible every day of the week.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm sorry, once a week. Every day, for 56 days.
56 Mustangs.
And you know what? Jay Cook made a phone call to the GSM, Gene Vassell.
Right.
And Gene Vassell walked in 10 minutes later and said, it's done.
Nice.
And they were bitching about, it's the bad old days here. They really cut back on stuff. I mean, that was just the most amazing thing to happen, And there's Jay Cook. Jay Cook. Yeah, I used to sit right to his right over there. You can't really see where I sat, and he and I would see
that other chair.
Yeah, exactly. And we would sit there on Mondays and see 35, 40 record guys. I was a music director at the radio station at that time.
And that was the day where promoters came in and were really pitching sometimes multiple records at a time.
Multiple records. And, it was a very combative atmosphere back then. Today, it's much more like, hey, what can we do for you, this and the other, and hoping, nice. And they play, and it's very businesslike today. Back then, it was like, what do you mean you're not going to play my song? It's like, it's like arguments, really serious arguments. So it was just a different era, you know what I mean? It was much more gritty.
Yes, a little more
It was gritty.
We have a question from one of our ActorsE Chatters, Pepper J.
Yes, we have several, and I want to thank all of you ActorsE Chatters for joining us all over the world here Monday through Friday from Hollywood, California. We have a question, Joel, from Florida, and they want to know, was there payola in your world when you were a radio DJ?
At the end of the day, it's like I'm sure that there was. I never got put into the uncomfortable situation of ever having somebody offer me anything. So I'm sure it went on, and I'm sure it happened, but I never had a brush with it myself. So I was pretty fortunate.
Yeah, as I look back over the years, there were people you would hear might be involved in that. Certainly, there was a lot of news about it at times.
Oh yeah, no
question. There were also people that people just knew this is a real straight-laced guy.
Well, exactly. It's listen. I mean, if I'd had any kind of brush with all that stuff like that, I wouldn't have probably been able to move around the way I've been able to move around. It's that kind of stuff taints people.
Absolutely, it does haunt you. Another question, Pepper
Right,
J?
and just so the world understands, payola meant that people pay you
To play records, right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Another question is from Toronto. They want to know, any suggestions from you for someone who would like to become a radio DJ? They are apparently in their college radio station right now up there.
So they want to become.
They want to become a professional,
Oh,
like
okay.
a
Well, you know,
Chum or something.
yeah. Chum was a terrific top 40 radio
Absolutely
station at the
was.
time. You know,
Legendary.
it's kind of like you just have to be passionate about what you're doing. You have to really, want to do everything and anything you can to learn. Today, more so than ever, you have to know a lot of skill sets. So when you have the
Absolutely.
opportunity at a radio station to learn how to do music, to learn how to do production, to learn how to run the board, how to drive
Schedule
just
music
everything,
now.
everything. Learn as much as you can. Be the sponge and soak it up. That's one of the best ways in the door, and really be committed to what you're doing. Have passion for what you're doing. Don't do things just to do things, because at the end of the day, it becomes just a job.
Right.
You don't want your life's ambition to be a job. You want your life's ambition to be something that you're really excited about doing every day.
And with that passion, you can excel. Now, for people who remember the days of radio when it was fun and the big personalities could say something spectacular in 4 seconds, today with all the formatics changing, what do you advise to somebody who wants to be the next Howard Stern or somebody of those proportions, how they break through with a program director?
I think what you have to do is as within any career, I mean, even back when I was in radio, they didn't want you blabbing for a half a minute. They wanted
Absolutely.
you talking about something concise, learn to self-edit, make what you had to say interesting. If you don't make it interesting, people are going to tune out. I don't care what era it is. That is an important thing for people to know and do. So, bottom line is, find what the lines are to color within first. You get
Very
the
good
basics down. Get the basics down. Then after you get the basics down, find ways to color outside of the box so that you don't piss off the guy that you're working for. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to get anywhere if you piss him off. You're going to be shown the door.
Right.
But if you can show that you're truly creative and you have something to say, they're going to let you have a little bit more room and a little more room and a little more room. That's how Elvis Duran went from being a nighttime DJ
Absolutely.
to afternoons and now doing mornings at Z100 in New York. That's how, Orion Seacrest went from afternoons in Atlanta to doing mornings over at Star and then now mornings at Kiss FM for all these years, and of course this huge empire that
Yeah,
has
that
built.
little show, Star
Exactly.
Search.
But the point is everybody starts with something small. And again, get your basics down. Don't try and take the world on in 2 seconds, but get your basics down. Get your basics down, and then try and find creative ways to color outside the box that are going to, not going to upset the apple cart. So,
We'll be back in a moment. You're watching ActorsE Chat live from Hollywood. I'm Kurt Kelly with Joel Denver.
Over her long career, Nina Foch appeared in classic films such as Spartacus, The Ten Commandments, and An American in Paris. She received an Academy Award nomination for her performance in Robert Wise's Executive Suite. In 1965, Nina Foch arrived here at USC to begin teaching directing, and I was lucky enough to get into one of her first classes. Even as she continued acting in film and television, Nina's passion for teaching lasted for over 40 years. Her course was immensely popular because she developed her own unique style, drawing on her experiences studying with Lee Strasberg, Stella Adler, and Uta Hagen, and being directed by such icons as Vincent Minnelli, Stanley Kubrick, Cecil B. DeMille, and Otto Preminger. As I began directing, the tremendous value of her teachings became evident and how important it was to preserve them for future generations. We became close friends, and at a cinema department event, we ran into my former classmate George Lucas, who invited us up to Skywalker Ranch, where we discussed creating a DVD of her course. He agreed to finance it, and on January 10th, 2002, we began taping an entire semester using a crew of USC film students. We filmed for 8 hours a week for 15 weeks, and this is the result.
Okay, so what are we going to do this semester?
Live from Hollywood, this is ActorsE Chat, and I'm Kurt Kelly with Joel Denver. And don't forget to go to the Actors Reporter site and click on the Actors Discounts. You'll get special discounts for the people who have been supporting the show for the last 6 years with the thousands of guests. And of course, if you put in Actors Reporter, you get a special discount code. So you decided at some point that being the star on the air, being the boss behind the scenes that made everybody do the right things that needed to be done on the air, that the next step was to branch off and come to Hollywood. How did that come about?
Well, it wasn't kind of a branch off thing. It's any decision. I've sort of like, I sort of like have followed just a natural stream of, things happen and you move forward, and and I had been fired from my second job in a row.
That's so odd in radio.
I know, it's so odd. It's like nobody ever gets fired.
No.
But what happened was, I just really realized early on that it was like, I'd never been fired before, and I'd moved around successfully from market to market to market, and I was really getting already tired of moving.
Was it a good reason you got fired for, at least?
No, hell no.
Yeah.
It's like,
Change of ownership.
Well, we got our butts kicked in the ratings in one of them.
well,
But I
that's the
told
reason,
the GM and I told the ownership, we are going to get our butts creamed here because you're not doing the right things. And of course, it happened.
I did that at CBS once. Yeah, they don't always like being told they're
No,
wrong.
but the point is, they didn't say I was wrong in telling them this, but the
Right.
point is, and it played out, and of course I was right. And they said, "Thank you very much for your wisdom." Now is not get the hell out of here.
Nice.
But anyway, and I went to Baltimore and I put a brand new radio station on there. Had a lot of fun doing it, and they had a change in national programming.
Which station in Baltimore?
It was WBSB B104.
Okay.
And so they had a national change in programming, and at that time, you notice I didn't have a part in my hair, but they didn't like the way I parted my hair.
I see.
So it was one of those kinds of things. It was like I couldn't do anything right. A quick story, when I picked the new national program director up, and by the way, he is a terrifically talented guy, but at that time he knew nothing about contemporary radio.
Who is that?
His name is Steve Roddy.
Okay.
And Steve Roddy is I can't remember his real name, but he's the guy that runs HGTV,
Okay.
House and Garden Television. He's an amazingly smart man. But at that time, I picked him up from Baltimore Airport, BWI Airport. He had a three-piece suit on, a leather briefcase, and I'm just like in a pair of jeans.
Oh, yeah, that played well with Top 40, didn't it?
Well, but the point is, so we get in
He's
the
the
car.
boss.
He get in the car, and he says, "Turn the radio station on." I said, "Great." So, "Time for Me to Fly" was a huge top 40 record.
Absolutely
By
was.
REO Speedwagon. And he says, "The hell is that record?" And he's from Houston, Texas. He's got a little bit of twang in his voice. I said, "Well, that's REO Speedwagon." And he says, "The hell's REO Speedwagon?" And I
Are you serious?
No, I'm really serious.
Oh, my God.
And he says, and there was no cell phones.
Kevin
in the car.
Cronin? Who's he?
There were no cell phones in cars.
Yeah.
So he made me pull over and find a payphone and have the jock take the cart out of the radio station and slide it under my door so it wouldn't get played again. And
You're serious.
would I kid you about that?
It was only a
No, it's-
gold and platinum record.
Yeah, but
It
at the
was
time, it's like,
huge.
people don't know what they don't know.
True.
So, he didn't know that this was a big group, and he didn't want to hear about it on the ride. He was cranky from his plane trip.
And
I
he
don't
was
know.
the national boss. So.
And he was trying to exercise his clout right then and there. So it was like, you will listen to me, you will bow down.
I am in charge.
that's
There's a
it.
payphone. Stop the
that's
car.
right, that's
We have
right.
a question
Be
from an
subservient.
e-chatter, Pepper.
Yes, Melissa in Atlanta wants to know, what are the coolest things about being a DJ?
Well,
Do you know Misty?
yeah.
You and Clint Eastwood.
The coolest things about being on the air, I think, is the first of all, it's the music.
Yes.
Yeah, come on. How much fun is that to play some great music, and have the opportunity to connect with people one-on-one.
Well, I was going to say, the phone calls were pretty good, too.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. And it's like,
interacting with people and hearing their
exactly,
passion.
and you make new friends, and 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 the opportunities to meet people, that are celebrities in your particular marketplace are
Right.
open to you. It just opens a lot of doors. It really does.
Bands coming through,
Exactly,
wanting to come on your show.
and it's just a lot of fun. It's like it's not like selling insurance or real estate or doing
Lifting
anything,
bricks.
or anything. The point is, it's a specialized area, and it's a brush with being creative. And it gives you that opportunity. It's a palette, and it's what you do with that palette, I think. So
Another question from an e-chatter?
Yes, we have a question from Create Inc. Welcome back, Create Inc. from Vegas. We haven't seen you in a while. Create Inc. wants to know,
Would you like a tattoo?
no, I've avoided those.
Me too.
they would like to know, so do you ever get a chance to play other people's music, people that are not famous, just to try to get them on the radio?
At present, I'm not on the air right now, so it's like, I'm not playing anybody's
Do you ever
music right
find a band, maybe I shouldn't ask this on the air, but a band you're passionate about that you'll write an extra story about? Or
Well,
kind
what
of
I'm doing
nudge
right now is
people?
like, one of the things we do at allaccess.com, we also, we promote music.
Right.
So,
which has become the hub for influencing broadcasting literally around
So
the globe.
there's a young lady named CC Fry, and CC Fry was on series
here's
2.
your website.
Yep, there it is. So
allaccess.com.
there was CC Fry was part of X Factor, second season.
Okay.
She was almost down to she was semi-finalist. Anyway, I can't remember even how we ended up connecting. I think her father called me or something like that. And he's very involved with her management and stuff like that.
Right.
But she's like 22 years old. That's her. She is
Beautiful
an
woman.
incredibly talented person. And she got, offed on the show. And but she's really just done some really creative videos and stuff like that. So we're working with her to try and help her get a job right now, get a deal.
Nice.
And it's like I'm not even getting paid for that.
So hypothetically,
Because and I'm doing that because I just believe she is so talented.
and that's exciting when you have passion about something and are able to help people, not because you're benefiting, but
Right.
because it's helping.
So it's like
someone do good.
so we've promoted her record. We've gotten her involved with this new app called Boomio, which
Called what?
Boomio, Boomio.
What is this? I don't
remember,
know about
remember Bob Case, who used to program
Yeah.
Z93 in Atlanta. Bob Case is behind Boomio, so he's an old friend of mine. So
So he's making apps now?
he's involved in developing
Okay.
this one app.
Okay.
So
And what does Boomio do?
Boomio shares new music. There it is. That's it right there. Boomio is the
Boomio,
best
way
way
to
to share
new
music.
So this
It's-
works on your phone.
Exactly.
So if I own a song, I can share it with
And
them?
she and I connected them together, so now she's sharing her song with the Boomio audience. This app is, I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks old. It's in its
That's it.
infancy, so I've been helping him a little bit
Okay.
with some ideas and just stuff like. Listen, you do stuff for friends. You know what I'm saying? It's.
I do.
So anyway, so I've connected them together, and it's fun to watch people interact, and and there's a lot of program directors and music directors I talk to have been very, very kind and have battled her song and played her song on the air a little bit, and they're starting to get some reaction. So, and then of course what I'm gonna try and do is connect her up, and she's working on her portfolio, and I'm gonna try and connect CC up with a label.
Hypothetically, might we see her performing at this year's Worldwide Radio Summit?
It's possible. It depends on how it all shakes out, but that is a discussion that we're having. Right
Now, with a lot of conventions folding over the years, which there was the Radio and Records Convention where you used to work,
Right.
and then you beat them to the internet. We'll talk about that in a minute. And several others. You've kind of picked up the torch or the flag and have kept it moving forward while all these others have gone to dust.
Look, it's right place, right time, and you can't do too much too fast. I mean, we got on the internet in 1995 when people I remember my first demos when I went to New York were held at fax machines because there was no dial tones and there were no computers on anybody's desk.
That sound of that screeching motor.
That's right. So it was like it was not able to like put a situation together where you could just you could easily do a demo. I had a little IBM
Right.
ThinkPad. It was on dial up and. And I had people going like, "When is this page gonna finish out here?" It's
You were like
it would
one
sort
of the
it
early
would sort of move down like that
because that's when
Yeah.
internet was. People were just starting to get their AOL and
Right,
really
right.
talking about internet at that
Right,
point.
exactly.
And I remember when you left Radio and Records, R&R, which you had been at for years,
14
and
years.
were kind of like the boss of Top 40 Radio with CHR, and everybody's like, "Where's he going? What's he doing?" Why did you decide to make that departure? Why the internet?
Look,
at that time?
I had 14 absolutely wonderful years there. Actually, 12 were wonderful. The last two were not so much wonderful. But
Is that one of those merger acquisition things?
no,
that were
not at
going
all.
on
It
at
was
the
just,
time?
it was just, technology was starting to catch up with R&R. They had reported ratings versus, monitored ratings, and BDS at the time was in
Coming
there.
in, yeah.
It was in there, and they were really, it was really hurting us because that was accurate, and our charts were not so accurate.
Your charts were what people told you your charts
Exactly.
were.
It was
Oh,
reported
this
there,
is
but-
number 5 this week. We're playing it once a year.
Yeah, exactly, or not at all.
Yeah.
But so we had those kinds
But
of
it's on our
problems.
chart.
Exactly. So we had those problems.
Yes.
And I was trying to tell them how to get out of it. And from going from being one of the smartest guys in the room, I went to one of the dumbest guys in the room.
Ow.
And and my dear friend Bob Wilson, who hired me into the thing, he and I did not see eye to eye for quite a while there, a little bit. But I have to credit my good friend Erica Farber, who runs the RAB today,
Which is the radio.
every advertising bureau. She remained a terrific friend and confidant all throughout. She was our general manager at
Right.
that time, and she was incredibly
Very
supportive.
bright.
Very bright lady, wonderful lady, and she's going to be speaking at Worldwide Radio Summit again this year for us. But she was incredibly confident and supportive of what I did, even despite all the pressures from within. But at the end of the day, it was better for me to leave.
And here is the information about
exactly.
this is your 5th year.
Yeah, it was our 5th year, right?
Now, you were starting some of the bigger ones, even back when I remember going to Radio and Records, one you guys put on where you had Don Henley
with the
performing.
Eagles and stuff, right?
The Eagles.
We're not to that stage yet because that requires that was like the Century Plaza Hotel.
I remember that well.
We're at the Hotel Roosevelt, which is a fine hotel.
Fabulous.
But it's like. Putting something onto that grand a scale is very difficult today. We had 3,000 people there. Now this year we anticipate near 600 or a little bit better, and every year we have gone up and up and up in our
There's Erica.
That's Erica, absolutely, and so we've gone up and up in our attendance from around 250 people our first year, which everybody thought was a lot of people that first year out, and so we should anticipate about 600 people this year.
Now, people, when they come to this convention, are radio people, they're record people, they're performers.
Digital, a lot of digital and social people. And because we say it's worldwide, about 25% of our delegates are from overseas. We have people from England, we have people from
I think I've seen people from China on your panels.
China, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, the Middle East. It's really, as Sat Bisley, who is our partner from A&R Worldwide, likes to say, it's the United Nations of radio. And I love that phrase because it really is. And the opportunity to do this is just really exciting for us because I'm still very, very passionate about radio, and we want to, educate people as to how important radio is and how radio can continue to be a part of
Why
everybody's
is radio
life.
still important to people?
Yeah, it's really simple. It's like it's the best one-on-one communication device out there. Look, there's Pandora, there's Spotify, that's all that stuff. That's all streaming music, but there's no local content. They can insert local advertising, sure, that's easy.
Come to the body shop.
Exactly, but the point is, when you want to know what's going on in your marketplace, you turn to your local radio station. There's different mindsets for listening. When you want to have the best curated, localized music list, you listen to your favorite music station. Or you listen to, like in town here, you want to know what's happening in town, KNX, for news and stuff like
information.
that. Exactly. And now people can sit there and say, well, I've got all that traffic information on my car. True, you can have all those feeds, but the point is when you're listening to KNX, and KNX tells you, by the way, so-and-so and so-and-so, and here's a route around that stuff. I mean, there's a little bit of communications. Nothing worse than sitting in a really big traffic jam and go like, hey, there's a big thing on the 405. Yeah, no kidding.
Tell me something I don't know.
Exactly. I'm right in the middle of it,
Right.
So, but I think radio is an incredibly important medium, and despite the fragmentation that's out there, Kurt, there is so much listening that's still going on the radio. Yes, they're listening less, but the amount of people that tune into radio is actually up. The amount of bodies.
That's interesting.
Now, the amount of bodies that listen to radio are using it, but
So they're listening shorter periods, but now there's more people
yes,
listening.
exactly.
Of course, there's another couple billion people on
exactly.
the planet
But the point is,
since
the use of the appliance, the use of the radio platform has not
Right.
shrunk terribly. It's the time spent listening. We're sharing audience with more platforms now.
More
That's the way to look at it.
devices.
So exactly.
We'll be back with more with the legendary Joel Denver on ActorsE in just a moment. I'm Kurt Kelly, live from Hollywood.
The great thing about NNow Media is a one-stop shop. We are soup to nuts. We have writers, directors, producers, animators, motion graphics artists, editors, videographers, musicians, all under one roof. And we are a boutique creative house where we actually do the creative at much more affordable price and have the staff in-house to execute it professionally. My name is John Palacio.
My name is Luz Montez.
My name is Paul Robinson.
I am Jesse Cervantes.
I'm Curtis Peel.
My name is Ben Joran.
One of the most common questions we have from potential clients is how does it work? What happens when you engage NNow Media to create a video, a marketing campaign?
It first starts with, obviously having the phone conversation with the client.
Brainstorm with them to come up with a really good concept and a really good idea to push whatever they're trying to do to the next level.
Only with that in mind can we really try to tailor a concept and a script for their exact audience that fits in with their branding and the message they want to tell. storyboard it out, get a real rough idea of what we want to do.
We'll then present the client with a couple of options, different ways that we could go with some of the things that we've come up with.
And they'll say this is good, and then we'll come back and we'll start animating that or designing it or editing it.
Our clients are generally, like to be really hands-on, and we'd like to hear from you kind of all along the board. There's no surprises.
What we like to do with every partner is we actually create a page on the NNow website.
So they can give feedback, and that way, when the time we get to the final product, usually there's not a whole lot more revisions to do because we've already been working together the whole time.
The big difference is that real personal, creative touch.
We have a creative group that can execute that vision, whether it's animation, video, motion graphics, and do so with some unique creative that is custom tailored to that business.
Dream it up. It's video. It's magic. It can happen.
Don't forget to go to our sister site, ActorsReporter.com, and click on the Actors Discount page. And when you get there, if you scroll down, you'll see all the people who have been advertising and helping to bring this show over the last 6 years with the many celebrity guests that we've had on. And if you go to their site and put in Actors Reporter as a discount code, you'll get special discounts and incentives for visiting them. And don't forget to like all the pages that you're on today. We have the founder, in his 20th year now, actually he's been doing this longer than 20 years, but of allaccess.com, Joel Denver. It's so great to have you here. I've been wanting to do this show with you for years. So, in fact, I remember broadcasting at ABC once. I was trying to figure out how to get you on the air, and we were doing different things at that time. It didn't work out. So my question is, for those who don't know, who haven't visited yet to figure out, what is allaccess.com?
Allaccess.com is a radio and music information portal, and it now includes social and digital. It's everything about radio. It's like we cover all the major formats. We cover top 40. We cover crossover, urban, country, Christian.
So you have like cutting edge news that's happening at the moment.
Exactly. It's like we update live time. And we have 30 people on staff. We have 4 people in Nashville. 1 person does Christian, 3 do country. We have people in New York that are doing news, and one of our people lives in Rochester, does search engine optimization and stuff like that for us.
Right.
And we have one of our graphic artists lives in Nashville. I'm way up in Michigan, up in Stillwell, Michigan, or something like that. It's a really teeny little place.
But I know where that is.
But the point is, we have about 11 or 12 people that come to our office every day. There's Leah, who's one of our editorial assistants. That's our staff page, and Sean, Sean's been with me about 20 years now.
Yeah.
Sean's been with us just about since the very beginning. Ken joined us recently.
Ken was in radio for years.
Ken, and he was a consultant, and he worked at R&R too. Jerry Barmash. Now Jerry's no longer with us, so we got to refresh that page.
Get rid of that page.
Jerry's a good guy, though.
Yeah.
Ed Brown's been with us a long time. He's been like 15 years. We've been very lucky. We've been able to attract some absolutely terrific folks, and we really love them. And we they're family. They're family to us, and we treat them, with
must
love.
treat them well because they stay there forever.
Yeah, and it's like they have found a good home, and and we care for them, and we treat them good, and we say thank you a lot.
And you
can't get people to I think feel good about what they do if they don't feel appreciated, and I think that's more important than anything else.
Right. There he is. You have a big following of people who get updates as they're coming up by the minute.
Right.
Who are influential program directors or decision makers, heads of record labels.
Right.
So if
our departments, social, digital, and they're also following us now on our apps, on our iPhone app and our Android app. It's All Access Music Group. If you want to go download it, that'd be great.
What are the benefits of having your app?
Well, the point is, is like with the iPhone app, we just upgraded that one and just changed it out a little bit so that you can receive live time notifications when we push a bulletin. And a lot of people subscribe to our emails for bulletins.
Right, I get those.
But now you can get an actual push notification on your iPhone app from All Access.
Oh, nice.
So it's All Access Music Group in both the Android store and the iTunes store.
We have a question from an e-chatter, Pepper.
Yes, I'm not sure where you're from, but thank you for joining us, e-chatter.
Des Moines.
ActorsE Chat Show. They want to know what kind of people go on the All Access site. Are those people in the radio industry or just people that like music?
Fans?
I think there's a little, I'd say we're probably about 90% in the industry.
Industry intensive.
Yeah, we have about 180,000 full-on subscribers, and probably of that, there's about 90,000 to 100,000 that are active. As people abandon accounts. I mean, that's just one of the parts of the business. But we pushed about 25 million page views last year, which Google does in about 3 seconds and Facebook does in 5 seconds. But for a business-to-business site, we're basically designed as a business-to-business site, with news and information and music and things of that nature. Anybody can come on the site they want to listen and use the site. But
can a non-industry person subscribe
sure, yeah,
also?
Absolutely. It's a free site where we have an advertiser-driven model. So it's not a question of any charge to anybody for anything.
So I can get your app and get the updates even if I'm not in the
absolutely,
business,
absolutely. The most important thing is to understand is but the content, unless you have interest in this business, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference to you. You're going to go man, what is this all about? Program director? What's a program director?
Right.
You don't care. It's a lot of industry jargon. It's a lot of industry specific news. But the common denominator up there is the music.
Well, and on the flip of the coin, for somebody new who really wants to get into the industry,
it's a great.
It's like going to school.
We have a job section up there. We have ratings. We have some of the best programmers and experts in the business writing for us. We have social and digital. Lori Lewis writes for that. Guy Zapolian writes for us.
Guy
is terrific.
Guy in Houston.
It's like Dave Robbins, writes for us. And we have some absolutely top shelf people writing for us every year. James Cridland, who we just picked up, he's a radio expert in the UK. And so he's been kind enough to write for us as well too. So it's like we're trying to sort of link it all together. You know what I'm saying? But it's really a lot of fun, and it takes a lot of work. And I'm at the office at 4:30 in the morning.
I saw your email come.
Yeah, I know it's kind of nuts, right? It's like, but the point is,
but I was up to get it.
Yeah, the point is that this is a living business, and a lot of our clients and radio people are east of the Mississippi.
Or even in England, where they're now 8 hours ahead. You're already 12 noon for them at 4 in the morning.
Yep,
so if I have a band or I'm an up and coming artist, and I can't get Ryan Seacrest to put me on the show, could they come to you and get promoted?
Well, we could, yeah, sure. We talk to people about promotion and marketing. At the end of the day, too, we don't accept music or promotional projects that we don't feel we can do something with. I mean, there's a lot of times people feel like they've got the best thing since sliced toast, and if we don't share that kind of real visceral feeling about the music, or think it's competitive with what else is out there, we'll pass on it, because it's like I just don't want to take people's money to take people's money. That's not good business.
It's bad karma too.
Yeah, it's bad.
And it's respectable that you don't, because there are so many people out there who will be more than willing to take your money.
They'll pump a lot of
sunshine
sunshine and say, "Yeah, man, we can do that. We'll promise you this, this, and this." And I will tell you, anybody that's out there that's a musician, if anybody out there tells you, I can promise you airplay here, here, and here, and it's meaningful airplay, they are not being straight with you.
They're not telling the truth.
It's not. It cannot be guaranteed. It cannot be guaranteed that you can put a song on the radio, an afternoon drive, or a meaningful day part, and make your record a success. It's not done. It can't be done.
Right. So, for those who are sitting on the fence, should I come to Joel's event at the Roosevelt in April and see Joel and Sal? What surprises do you have coming up this year?
Got lots of them. It's like, we've been advertising.
You had Daltrey performing last year or the year before?
No, we have, I've got, I'll tell you who we've got performing already. Ingrid Michelson.
Okay.
Who she is. She's terrific. She's going to be doing our awards luncheon on Friday.
Nice.
And we've got Fifth Harmony and Eden XO. They're going to be performing on their Wednesday night cocktail party. And we have another band to announce on that. That's the Roosevelt. Yep. Yep. We're not at the Hard Rock this year.
It's you're not?
No, and we're not over. And we're not over at SIR for our Thursday night either. It's all at the Roosevelt this year.
The band performances.
Everything's going to be there. We're really excited about that.
I was kind of excited about the limo ride over to...
Yeah, across the street.
Yeah, across the street.
Yeah, you would do that.
Take the limo ride across the street. Well, you had them going. I figured I had to take the ride last year.
That was over to SIR.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is,
across the street.
Yeah, 6 blocks away.
Yeah.
So it's like, and nobody walks in L.A., remember that.
Exactly.
So it's like...
Flashing back to that old song.
So, yeah, it's kind of a thing where, we all sit there and we're very excited about this event. We've got and we've got some really terrific speakers. Pat Paxson.
You have great panels.
Yeah, thank you. We have Pat Paxson, who's president of programming at Intercom, and as I mentioned, Erica Farber is going to be speaking. We have a lot of great program directors. We have a lot of great digital people. Laurie Lewis will be speaking. Fred Jacobs from Jacobs Media will be doing his Tech Survey 11, which is an absolutely must-hear presentation. Because
why?
Well, because
aside from the fact that Fred's a brilliant
Well,
mind.
he's brilliant, but he puts together this multi-format. There's Pat. He
Pat.
puts together
Pat.
this multi-format survey, and he gets something like 50,000
Oh, that's serious
responses.
research.
But they're individual points of data points.
Right.
So he's listing, he's got 20 or 30 questions, and he's talking to all these radio stations, and he's getting in all this format stuff, and he breaks it up by format and all this kind of, and city and regionality, and he's asking all this information about digital and social behavior and what do you listen to, and when you stop listening to the radio station, where do you go, and what new platforms do you like? And these are all the things that radio program directors need to know, because if they're not listening to your radio station, what's the rest of my audience doing at this time?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the event is you're about to throw if no one's there.
Exactly. If nobody's there, and if you know that if you know that a large percentage of your platform is spending time on Facebook, on Twitter, on Vine, on Instagram, then you'll create content for that. Hopefully,
right?
You see, and because it's like
Fan
today,
page,
like
page.
today. If you're in a market where they have school closings because of snow and bad weather,
right?
Yeah, who wants to spend 10 minutes doing that on the air when you can list all that information on your Facebook page?
Well, and that way you don't run the risk of tune-out for those who
Exactly.
don't
The
care
point is,
about it.
and it's much easier to be able to say, listen, go to Facebook, blah blah blah, like this. Here's our, and, or on your own website and list that stuff, because the information's static. It's always updated. It's always up to date, and you're not dragging the audience down with who are tuned in to listen to music or entertaining things, not school closings.
We'll be back with more in a moment. You're watching ActorsE Chat with Joel Denver. I'm Kurt Kelly, live from Hollywood.
Have you been waiting for a simple and cost-effective alternative to ISDN? No need to wait any longer. Introducing IPDTL from InQuality. IPDTL is a revolutionary yet easy-to-use webpage which uses Chrome to stream audio to and from anywhere on Earth. Well, audio quality with IPDTL is equivalent to, yet far less expensive than ISDN, and with no connection charges. No proprietary hardware or software needed. Just download the Chrome browser and use it. To find out more and to get a free account for your station, go to ipdtl.com. IPDTL is perfect for radio stations and voice talent alike, and can work anywhere in the world. Well, anywhere with the internet, that is. It's here. Go to ipdtl.com and sign up today. IPDTL, the game changer you've been waiting for.
IPDTL is an amazing new technology. In fact, go right now to ipdtl.com/AE. And there you'll find out how you can get rid of your ISDN, how you can do live television broadcasts in full HD, and it's very cost effective. We've been using it for pioneering new technology with our broadcast out of Istanbul on ActorsE Chat. Go there right now. We're live from Hollywood, and this is ActorsE Chat. I'm Kurt Kelly, and this is Joel Denver. We were talking about your Worldwide Radio Summit, and also the fact that radio has to get smarter now about how they're programming because of audience shifts with all the new mediums of digital transfers, if you will.
Right.
Do you see radio, like cable television, evolving more and more towards the internet, or will there always be?
It's integrated right now. It's like if you're not integrated with the web right now, you are so
way
in
behind.
trouble. You are in trouble. If you're not taking advantage of social platforms and communicating with your public that way. We're so used to pushing stuff up. It's like, hey, stand by. It's Katy Perry tickets in 10 minutes. It's like, you don't want to hear that on social media. You know what they want to hear? They want to hear you reacting to them. We're so used to doing push and broadcasting, and this is what we think, and we're just grand poobahs of everything, and that's bull. That doesn't work today. They come to us for entertainment. not necessarily for our opinions. So what they want from us is to us react to them and to communicate with them. And that's more important today. So when you have somebody that tweets something about your radio station, a complaint, a praise, like, hey, I really like that guest on the show, interact with them. If you ignore them, that's just like ignoring the request line and letting it ring, 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 ring.
Right.
It's, you win audience and you win fans today. And you taught me all this stuff? Lori Lewis, I got to give her credit for that. She's with Jacobs Media. She's their social digital director. What happens today is you win fans one by one.
And Lori's already tweeting the Worldwide Radio Summit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You earn their loyalty. You earn their listenership. You earn
their respect.
Exactly. It's exactly right. It's a respect thing. And they expect you to respond.
So it's not the days where you would answer the phone or answer mail. Now it's answering the emails and answering Twitter calls.
And text messages and stuff like that. Yeah, some people still call a request line,
right.
Of course. But still, it's like you have more things to be aware of and more platforms to interact with. And not every radio station has fans that interact on all those platforms. You have to learn where they go, and they expect you to be where they are.
Right. And so for someone in entertainment who's being resistant to some of these platforms, it's time to just give up and get with it.
Exactly.
If you want to be moving forward with the industry.
Yep.
Interesting. So you were talking about the panels and performers. Do I have that? And performers that are going to be at the Worldwide Radio Summit.
Right.
Any other interesting panels that?
Yeah, they're all going to be interesting. We're going to take a look at our keynote is with Paul Jacobs from Jacobs Media, and we have MS Broadcasting President Jeff Smulyan, and he's going to be talking about his next radio app. He's a brilliant piece of technology. And we have somebody from Panasonic, and we have somebody we're hoping to get somebody from Pandora up there, and we got that's the last little piece to that whole thing. We have somebody from the BBC. And we're going to be talking about the connected car, because that's where it's all going to, this complicated.
Now, the connected car, explain that for someone who's not
the connected car is like, if you go into any kind of a new car, you rent a car today, it's got a connected centerpiece.
Right.
Center stack. And it allows you to connect to your phone. It allows you to, has native apps up there. Some of these systems allow you to
Paul Jacobs.
Yeah, no, it's not Paul Jacobs. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not Paul.
Like,
different Paul Jacobs.
Another Paul.
That's a different Paul. Somebody stole his name and face. Anyway, so he's with Jacobs Media. Yeah, and anyway, so it's what's coming, and it's how radio will be used and shared. It has iHeart app up there. It's got Pandora. It's got Shazam. It's got all these native apps, and a lot of these cars allow you to put your station app up there.
Oh, so you can
customize exactly. It. Or the fact is, you can take your smartphone, and this becomes your tuner.
Right.
And that's the Think Tech Survey 11 right there that
you're talking about the presenting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot there. I mean, we're gonna have radio programmers sitting listening to brand new music, and we're gonna have a digital analysis. The audience members will rate the music electronically, and it'll go against what they're doing. And then we have a survey from Sound Out. It's going to be pretty exciting. It's like we're going to bring in a lot of technology. Ellen Kay from KISS FM is going to be moderating the Air Talent panel, and we have Angie and Fred and Angie from KISS in Chicago. We got Bubba the Love Sponge, who is an outrageous jock,
yes.
And we've got who else we got? Afentra and Laszlo. That's a husband and wife, program director and morning show team. He does afternoon, she does mornings, and he's the program director. And they're the people that just got sued recently for calling a listener a slut. So they're going to have a lot to say. And kudos to the management for standing behind them too. It cost them $1 million, but hey.
These are just details.
These are just minor details. Yes. But that's going to be an exciting session. And we have just so much, we have 2 days of fun. It's April 22, 23, 24 at the Hotel Roosevelt in Hollywood. And there's discount rooms, and there's discounts on airfare through Delta.
So the website to go to, so they can find out more.
Well, you can go to our site right there, and there's a little banner up the very top there. You can click on it and get to all the things you need there, or you can go to worldwide,
which is allaccess.com.
Right, allaccess.com, or you can go to worldwideradiosummit.com and
so
find all that stuff.
That
yep, exactly.
And you can worldwideradiosummit.com.
Yep, exactly. And it's a lot of fun.
And here's your interactive media on Facebook. So they'll have details there. And Twitter?
Yep.
Oh, you do have a Twitter page.
Of course
there.
we do.
Okay.
Of course we do.
I'll have to start tweeting.
There's our main All Access account.
So go and like it. Join the 30
there's our music. This is our business to consumer page. We do interviews with artists and such as that, and that's our Nashville page.
How many access pages do you have?
Probably as many as you do.
Oh, I see. And look, there you are.
How's that?
There's your all access page.
There we go. So.
And there's your Joel. And there's Lori.
There's Lori. Absolutely. So.
Fabulous.
Yes. So.
And here you are at J Denver on Twitter. For those who would like to follow you, you can find
me. And there's you.
I
know that guy.
KurtKelly.com. And you can also find me here on IMDb. Where you'll now be appearing soon. We'll need to get your IMDb on Facebook.
Okay.
You can go to Kurt Kelly 1 and at Kurt Kelly on Twitter. And Live Video Inc., which co-produces the show with Pepper J Productions, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. And now this.
This is like your date.
Hi, I'm Sonia Harley, one of your ActorsE Chat hosts. Thank you for joining us on ActorsE Chat. We are now 6 million viewers strong from all over the world, and we really appreciate you. ActorsE Chat shoots live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time from the Pepper J Productions studio right in Hollywood, California. Want to see all of today's episode or any other ActorsE Chat episode? Please visit ActorsEntertainment.com and put the talent's name in the search box. For instance, like if you're looking for Sonia Harley, for me, put in Sonia Harley, and we'll take you right where you need to go. And go ahead and visit the Actors Entertainment on imdb.com. That's the Internet Movie Database to see the more than 1,300 entertainment industry professionals that have been guests on ActorsE Chat. And social media is so important, so please follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Actors Entertain, and join us on Facebook at Actors Entertainment fan page. And don't forget to like us, because those likes, they really do help out. Stay tuned for our Actors Reporter animation, which won Best Animation at the Telly Awards. Great job, and Now Media, and Pepper J Productions, and terrific singing by Melissa Suzanne. And now, a special thank you to today's ActorsE Chat guest.
Joel Denver, you started All Access. You're giving people all access at your Worldwide Radio Summit in April here in Hollywood.
Yep, with our partners at A&R Worldwide. I got to give them credit, you know.
Right.
So
2015.
2015 in April.
That's right.
At the Roosevelt Hotel.
That's right.
What are your words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. Wow.
Well, wow.
That's scary. It's like I don't think I'm not that smart. It's like, you know.
Grasshopper.
Grasshopper.
Yeah.
One day you can catch pebble.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like I think basically treat people like you want to be treated.
Nice.
I think that's probably the most basic thing out there. I'm not a religious person. I'm more of a spiritual person, and I believe that we're here once, and at least that I know about, and every day is a gift, and you should open it, use it, and enjoy it because there are no returns.
Be open to learning.
That's it.
Thank you for giving
Thank
me
you,
so
buddy.
much
Thank
today.
you
Great
so
to see
much, Kurt.
Joel Denver from allaccess.com. I'm Kurt Kelly. Thanks for joining us here at ActorsE Chat, Monday through Friday, live from Hollywood. Have a great day.
See ya.
What's that? ActorsE Chat Show? Happens to be my favorite. In the morning, I want nothing but a cup of coffee, a bottle of Kahlua, 6 naked girls. Wait, no, that's not right. ActorsE Chat Show.
Thanks for joining us on ActorsE Chat. Remember to visit ActorsE.com and enjoy all your past ActorsE Chat episodes with celebrity favorites. Look in the search box to find who you're looking for. ActorsE has had over 1,300 entertainment celebrity guests and over 6 million viewers worldwide. Join us every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Thank you for watching ActorsE Chat live from Hollywood. ActorsE Chat is a co-production of Pepper J Productions and Live Video Inc., a Kurt Kelly company. All rights expressly reserved in all formats. Thanks for watching.
Oh my gosh, hey big Hollywood starlet that just happens to be walking by. Yes? I'm not from around here, but I want to be an actress just like you. What do I need to know? Kid, let me tell you. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a naive newbie like you, there's one thing you need to know to get my first job. I lived in a slum, beat out 50 other girls to play a drunk bum.
I cried.
My first agent charged me 30%.
Thanks.
Working 3 jobs and I couldn't pay rent, but I'm an actor.
She's an actor.
A shark gnawed my leg on a beef film in Sydney. To pay for the stitches, I sold my left kidney. I finally made a union, their rules were complex. Their piles of paperwork fogged up my specs. But I'm an actor.
She's an actor.
I'm an actor. Well, that's rather disturbing, but what's the one thing I need to know? Don't listen to the critics. Don't follow all the tabs. Forget that sleazy photog and the agent that's got crabs. Go to Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com. Learn the tricks and the secrets without all the sweat. An info-packed one-stop shop. It's free and on the net. Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com.
How can they help her?
Career cues, union news, makeup woes, advice from pros, insurance tips, choosing scripts, everything at your fingertips. Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com.
I just got a call back.